Welcome to class, and I hope you are well and feel even more well after today's class. We're focusing on mudras, which is our yoga of the hands, just incorporating that into our flow so that we can just bring that yogic energy and brightness to all the way to the fingertips and beyond. So we're going to take a brief seated meditation, and then we'll get started with some floor work as well. So as we come together and anchor ourselves to this lovely planet, let's take those sits bones at the base of the spine to a cushion or blanket or the edge of a chair, whatever you choose. So today's practice, if you like to lie down or do anything, positioning that makes you more comfortable, absolutely take your practice. Inhale and exhale. Enter the gateway to practice. Look around the room that you're in. Just transform it into your yoga sanctuary together for the next hour. Another deep inhale and exhale. Feel the shoulders drop away from the ears already. Just change your mindset to tuning into the body, mind, and spirit together with others, connecting. And I'm very thankful for my computer that came back online today. Our internet was down all night and much of yesterday. So I'm so grateful that it's come back. Inhale and exhale. Again, feeling all of the practical stress drop away. So we're going to take a mudra where we take the right hand up towards the sky and the left hand down onto the thigh. So rest the back of the right hand on the thigh and the left hand down. So this is our sense of being upheld and also guided. So we're upheld by this rounding of that left hand. We can even touch the fingertips to the earth if we want to slide it down and just feel the fingertips touch down. Sense of rooting, drawing up that strength from below us, stability. And then from the right hand, we're turning it towards the skies, just a sense of being upheld by those around us, by the world around us. So a connection within and tapping, rooting down, and a sense of connecting outward. So feel free to channel some of that energy as you close the eyes and come into your breath. Connecting the earth and the cosmos. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's take our 3-part breath together. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest. And exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Belly, ribs, chest. Chest, ribs, belly. Just notice that pathway. See if you can bring that inhale all the way up to the collarbones. So we've got those breathing accessory muscles all around the lungs. You can feel that inner massage you're giving yourself just by breathing consciously. And see if you can send that inhale to the back of the lungs as well. And then if you can send your next inhales to the sides of the ribs, you can feel that full rounded lungs. Lengthen the back of your neck, maybe slightly tuck the chin in so we can feel that lengthening. And that alignment with the back of our skull to the base of the spine, to the sacrum. Maybe we sit up a little bit taller, just bringing that into our intention. Inhale and exhale. Shoulders away from the ears, naturally lengthening the neck. And rest the hands on the thighs, flutter the eyes open. And just see if you open the eyes, you behold something different around you. Look around, sort of with just the eyes, without the head. Joining in. Practice those eye muscles. Yoga, eye yoga. Let's come on to the mat. And we're going to take our long blanket roll to open up the chest, to bring in the breath. If you feel more comfortable with that blanket roll in the horizontal, you can customize here, but I like to roll it up, or you can fold it into the midline of our mat. So we're just kind of marking that midline of the body. If you want to take a block at the top of the blanket to catch the back of your head, you can do that as well. We take the sits bones to the base of the blanket and just make sure we're kind of cozying up to that blanket. As we go down, we're going to spread the toes. We're going to lift the toes off the mat, look down at those amazing digits, open up the toes, separate them from each other if you can, and then place the toe pads on the mat. So we got a little grip there. And then the big toe mound and the little toe mound, the inner heel and the outer heel. So this is just a great ritual to take to bring our foundation into awareness as we move through the day. So just walk those hands back behind you, elbows behind you, as you drape yourself down over the blanket, and then take the hand to the back of the skull so we can soften that wherever that head is landing, on the block or on the blanket. And depending on the length of your blanket at home, this will differ for each person. So let's make that super cushy for the spine. Inhale, exhale. Notice this is affecting the lungs and the positioning. Keep the knees bent. If you'd like that for the lower back, it's probably a good idea at first. Keeping the knees together, the feet wide apart, if that works better for you. Inhale and exhale, and unround ourselves. If we've been just doing tasks, that comes along with human existence, is that leaning forward, hunching forward. Let's take our hearts up towards the sky, invite in a sense of expansion from our skies, just that big hint from above to expand. Broaden the collarbones. And here in this position, as we come into our breath awareness, we're going to take Pran Mudra, which is our traditional peace sign from back in the glory days of those peace-loving 60s, which I'm all for it. So let's take that peace sign. We take the ring and the pinky fingers together and just touch them to the thumbs, and then palms open towards the sky, clearing the mind with Pran Mudra. And then place the back of the hands on the floor, just feeling the shoulders fold away from the midline with your exhale. So with this mudra, we're joining each digit has a representation in our cosmos. So we've got the fire and the thumb, the earth and the ring finger, and the pinky is water. We're balancing the energies, clearing the mind. Allow the exhale to cascade your thoughts away for the moment, even if they just stay away, floating along for a moment, transforming into stillness. You can use this mudra as a reminder throughout your day or night to clear the mind. Lengthen the exhale. Let's take a 3-part breath together. Belly, so feel that all the way at the base of the belly, the center, down to the pelvic floor. Exhale. or a 3-part. Let's do it again. Down into the base of the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. And release the chest and the ribs and the belly. That sort of echoes in the body and reverberates as a drawing into the center. If you'd like to release that mudra, just allow the hands to relax. Drift along for 2 more breaths. And we get to notice the difference when we open the eyes and come off the mat, come off the blanket, not the mat, just roll onto the mat. And then on your side, we can just roll that mat away, bring the knees together as we bring the left hand forward in a straight position and just roll that mat behind you. Sorry, I keep saying mat because it's a roll. We're going to roll that blanket away and any other props. Take the right hand on top of the left. Inhale. Lengthen the spine away from the pelvis. Exhale. Let's paint a rainbow across the sky with the right hand as we reach over into a twist. So we're opening up into a soft twist. Fingertips to fingertips. Again, that expansion across the collarbones, looking up at our skies, whatever color they are right now. Bright blue, dark blue, gray. There's a lot of it. So bring it in through the breath. And allow the rib cage to drop towards the floor, the back of the ribs. No force here, just softening and feeling that gravity working in your favor. And then we'll sweep those fingertips across the sky. Feel free to wiggle the fingers as they come up to the sky and then down to the left. And we'll take that to the other side with that clear mind we've got now. And then let's roll on over to the right side. I can switch it up. Left hand comes on top of right. As we take those knees together, keeping them glued together as we come into this twist. So inhale, trace the sky, and then expand fingertips to fingertips, left hand reaching out. Maybe that left shoulder drops towards the floor, but it certainly shouldn't force anything. Just be open to this energy above us in the spiral, the joy of the spiral. And the spine, waking up the spine, even if it's been awake for a while, we can kind of bring it to a little bit of a brighter place. Increasing the flow. And then trace that across the sky. Inhale. And exhale, left hand on top of right. And then we'll take our we'll just take that hand in front of us and come on up to a side sit. Inhale as you come up. And then take this seat so that we're evening out through those sits bones. Fold the blanket. Doing my little arts and crafts here to get this back. We're going to fold the right knee, bend the right knee in front of the body. And the left knee to the side, or you can keep that straight if that's better for your knee. So adapt, please. So that heel, the right heel is coming towards the root of the body, so the center of the pelvis, helping us mark that pathway of energy. And we'll take this fingertips beside us in those roots. Inhale. Let's press the roots into the floor. And feel the crown of the head being able to lift up just from that extra support. Exhale. Beautiful. From this position, notice your sits bones and just maybe push those fists into the floor and lift up and see if you can even them out with the blanket, help with the blanket. And before we turn into any kind of flow energy movement here, we're just going to take another mudra, which is for inner peace, for regulating, for detoxing. So we're going to come into the middle finger and the ring finger, touching the thumb. And the hands up, just place them on the lap. Palms up towards the sky. So this is a regulating mudra. If you just want to come into a sense of flowing out of the body what you do not need, you can take these fingers. I like to think of this as the bunny ears. Peaceful bunny ears. Just feel the shoulders again drop away from the ears. See if we've noticed any change in the body. 3-part breath. Inhale. And release the toxins with our exhale. Beautiful. Take those rooted fingers to the floor again. Look over to the right. Trace that line across the horizon line. And then back through center to the left. And right and left. And then look straight ahead. And take the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale here. And then if you need help for that head up, use the right hand. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Pressing the opposite hand to the floor. The power through our fingertips, right? If we just root them a little, press them gently into the floor, waking up that pathway. The energy along the arms. Lift the head up with your left hand. Inhale and exhale the freedom. Let's walk the fingertips out to the right. Take the palm down, really spread the fingers. Take the left palm up towards the sky. Invite in that energy. Root through your left side on the hip and lean to the right, bending the elbow. As you root, inhaling, root through the left side. Exhale, feel that energy travel up your left side, opening up the ribs. And then swing it on back, touch down with the left fingertips and reach the right arm up. Not as far on here, just to protect our knees and such. Still a lovely, luxurious expansion. And then come on back. Let's lift the right arm up towards the right side. So lengthen it out, wingspan style, palm forward. And we're going to reach back behind us, just twisting. We're going to twist from the ribs on up and reach back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, look over your right hand and plug that shoulder in. So feel a hugging into the midline, even as we inhale and lengthen and exhale, twist. Hold this twist for another couple of breaths. The joy of this spiral up the spine, coiling, cleansing energy. Exhale, let's come on back to center. Allow that right fingertips to come down. Inhale and exhale. Let's send those wings upward, reaching up towards the sky. Let's take prayer position, Anjali Mudra. Bring that energy down our center. So drawing that line from that middle finger above us to the crown of the head, rooting all the way down to the center of the pelvis. Bending the elbows. Let's take that hovering hands above the head so we can inhale up. Exhale, cascading down. Maybe we grow a little taller towards the hands. And then send that energy up towards the sky. Bring the right arm under the left. And wrap around to eagle arms. Inhale, exhale, send the elbows over towards the left shoulder and look over the left. Send them over towards the right. And look over your right shoulder. Come back to center. up towards the sky, elbows up, eyes up, and then curl down towards the navel. All the while, feel the hips rooting. Notice the sensations there and give that some breath. And then from here, keep that left arm on top of right and just give yourself a hug. And then release it out, arms out. And we're going to switch to the other side. So we're going to fold that left knee in front, left heel towards our root, and you choose with that right side whether to bend the knee or take it straight down out. Fingertips rooted, inhale, and exhale. Let's just feel the spine tracing that line in this position as we turn left and right with our gaze. And then towards center. And then we'll reach that left hand out to the left side, reaching through the left fingertips. And then reaching back towards behind you and looking over those left fingertips. Feel free to root through the right fingertips or even take that right hand to the left knee. I think we did this in a different order on the other side. Sorry about that. But let's enjoy this spiral. Great. Come on back to center. Feel that left hand rooting down. We'll walk that out to the side and rooting through the right hip. Lift the right arm up to the sky. Trace that rainbow shape and drop it towards the left. With that lengthening of the neck, we can even roll that right shoulder away from the ear, kind of feeling that plugging in of the shoulder. And then sweep it back on up to the other side. Right arm down, right hand down, lift the left arm up. Maybe there's some little creaks along the way. Sound effects, and then come on back into center. Find that hugging into the midline, just wrapping yourself around it. Yes, and then reach the arms up to the sky, prayer position. Yeah, great. Link the thumbs this time, just sway side to side. In the breeze. And then on up to the center, release, take the left arm under right, wrapping around to eagle arms so we can hug into the midline even better. Involve the core as well, that deep core as we exhale, just imagining ourselves coiling around the spine with our energy, using those core muscles to bring that awareness that we carry with us into our daily movements. Let's take the elbows over towards the right and look over at the right. Tracing that horizon line across the shoulders to the left. And then looking over to the left. Coming back to center. Tracing it on up to the sky. Third eye looks up, eyes look up, chin up. And then curl in, elbows towards navel. Everything bowing down. Inhale back on up. And then keep the right arm on top of left as we give ourselves a hug. Inhale, exhale, release out. Releasing tension. So nice. Coming back in this position to our Apana Mudra. Same bunny ears here. ring and middle finger. Palms up to the sky, 2 breaths here. Just kind of noticing the hip response to this side sit, right and left, seeing how that feels. And noticing what the body is experiencing. Sweet. Let's release the fingers and come on to our tabletop. So take care of your knees and tabletop, take care of your wrists. Adjust as you need to any of the alternates, like forearms or fists. And find your horizontal here. Let's appreciate those hands, spreading the fingers if you have them on palms down. Invite the breath in through the crown all the way to the base. Exhale. Let's really find that wrapping and spiraling around the midline. So we're just feeling our own roots wrapping around the trunk, which would be the spine, right? So we're tracing that line, lighting up that spiral up and down the spine. With our breath, one more deep breath, 3-part. All the way to the collarbones, and then exhale. One more time, 3 parts. And 3-part breath. Chest, ribs, belly. So right here, we're doing core work just to stay nice and rooted here. And we're going to take this side to side. So feel free to look back at your left foot as you look back to the left, and then look back to the right, just curving through the spine, all the way to the neck. Exhaling completely, side to side. And just wiggling through the spine. Take some rib circles here, softly bend the elbows, and allow the ribs to take their spiral or their circular motion up and down, right to left. And breathe. And then change the direction. So notice the breath will be affected by this. As you move, the lungs kind of shift around. And then just seeing if you can get to the extremes of those edges of the intercostal muscles, expanding so that when we come back to stillness, which we can do right back to our tabletop, the lungs have changed their path a little bit, allowing for expansive breath. Let's take that left hand, root it down, or fist. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Look on up at that hand. Take the eyes up towards the sky as well. And then curl the right hand under the left and bring the right ear down to the floor, reaching out to the right. Take the left hand right in front of that face. Just press down as you reach the hips back and sort of regulate there. See if you can even out the hips. Maybe one is trying to reach towards the top of the mat. Draw it back. Notice the breath here. We're kind of moving these ribs around today. So breathe with the flow. And then unravel yourself back to tabletop. We'll take a cat-cow here in the middle. Take a nice, luxurious cat, looking at the knees. Noticing the navel's toning towards the spine. Exhale. Release the breath. Feel free to stick the tongue out as you come into cow. Back into cat. Exhale into cow. Lion's breath. One more time. Detox. Come back to center. Find that orbit around the horizontal midline. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Gaze on up with your eyes. Turn the head and then wind it under the right armpit. Right hand in front of the face. Settle in here. Pressing the right hand into the floor. If you want a little further, twist and spiral through the rib cage. Changing the perspective of our hearts here. Drawing the right hip back, the left hip back. Balancing the energies. Complete exhale. So we join that spiral of detoxing the spine, getting energy that we don't need out of our systems. Come on back to the center line. Sweep those hips back to child's pose or puppy pose. Feel that grounding effect. Let's take the hands forward towards the top of the mat, forehead down on the mat. Shift the head side to side, just swaying with the spine. Allow the waving of this flow to go through the back body. And then take the palms up towards the sky, that receiving mudra. Imagining just a positive energy landing in your hands, ready to carry with you, making you lighter and brighter. And take the palms down to the mat. Take the forearms down to the mat. Now we're going to curl up with our forearms on the mat into a forearm cat. Exhaling into a forearm cow. And then coming back to a fairly neutral spine, so we're in that diagonal. And just feeling that diagonal in the spine. Now we're going to separate the shoulder blades as much as we can, back of the heart towards the sky. And then bring the shoulder blades together as if you're squeezing a pencil between them. Notice that the heart will drop and hammock towards the earth and then back. Let's take that massage for ourselves and as we breathe. So separate the shoulder blades and then bring them together, keeping the hips neutral here. So this movement is in the ribs. Lots of nice breath work here. Shifting the tides of our breath. Excellent. Coming back to neutral, we'll take the palms down, reach back to child's pose one more time. Really clawing the fingertips on the mat. Again, the power in the fingers. So you pull back with the fingertips and you just notice that aliveness. Lift the palms up and just notice that enlivening of the arms. Take the palms down and come on back. We'll take a knee plank here just for some core action. Bring the shoulders forward, hips forward. And notice that line we create from the sacrum. Trace that line up to the back of the skull as we tone in through the glutes, tone in through the core. Take baby little lizard push-ups, bending the elbows towards the ribs. Noticing as we press the fingertips into the floor, the finger pads, we definitely, and the mounds of the fingers, we can expand that base of strength. Squeezing towards the armpits with our shoulders. Great. And then come on back. Just take ourselves back to forearms and take the palms up towards the sky, just kind of mellowing out the wrists here. Palms up, palms down. Sweet. Come on back to tabletop. So we're going to shift the tabletop and come up to standing. but I'd love it if you could walk your tabletop out towards the wide end of your mat. So we're just going to take the hands kind of on your floor in front of you, and we're going to move that blanket on over. Root down through your hands on the floor, and we'll take those curled toes behind us, lift the knees off the mat, and take a brief downward dog. Bend the knees, walk the feet into the middle of the mat. Just have the hands on the floor, and then widen the feet towards a wide stance here. Very carefully moving those feet out. And then we're going to straighten the legs as the hands root us to the floor and the earth. Spread the toes again, making sure we have a strong foundation there through the feet. Keep that contact with the palms on the floor. If this is kind of too low for your head, you can take a block underneath your hands. But let's just feel those roots, the hands and the feet. Relax the face. And now we're going to just release the elbows, bend the elbows, and release the head down. Taking a wide forward bend, releasing the weight of the head so that our head provides traction for the neck. And just shake the head yes and no. And now we're going to use that lift in the back body in the inhale, 3-part inhale, to come on up to a flat back. Let's see, you can take the fingertips below us, so claw the fingers towards the feet or towards the midline. So you can strengthen this position of horizontal. We're hinging at those hips, so just keep aware of the hips. And we're going to take the left hand down and opening to a twist here, opening to the right, lifting the right arm skyward, looking over your right side. Draw that line from the earth to the sky between your hands, yoga in your hands, and then bring the right hand down and trace across the heart with the left, lift on up to the sky. Following your breath, repeat this twist, feeling the foundation and the stability in your root and the pelvis. And then come on down. Take our hands, so strengthen through the core, really come in through the breath there to the base and the hugging into the core. Take the hands to the top of the thighs, feel that thigh crease, right? And you can even take the fingertips toward the inner thighs just to feel that rooting there. Inhale to a flat back and come on up to a wide stance. Just ease yourself up. Inhale and exhale, come up slowly, float on up. And then you can heel toe yourself in a little bit if you need to, bring that in a little bit for our warrior sequence. So we're going to take the even feet, parallel toes, and just get yourself oriented here, drawing that energy up. Crown of the head, drawing the line down to the middle of the pelvis. Great. Now let's shift to that familiar proud warrior feet, right toes to the right. Line up with the back arch. So in this warrior, we're going to come into another beautiful hand mudra, one of my favorites that I've learned. So as we come down into proud warrior, first let's deal with that knee. So the right knee is going to track over the middle 2 toes. Make sure it's not leaning into the left side because sometimes it'll do that. So let's take the hands to the hips, just guiding those hips forward. Inhale out of that pelvis, exhale, drop the pelvis and watch that knee go down. So we have a safe foundation here, bringing the energy between the feet. And then let's just face forward and bring our hands into Lotus Mudra. So Lotus Mudra is bringing the pinkies together, sides of the pinkies, sides of the hands, and then the thumbs together and the base of the hands together and the fingers up. So it'll look like a gorgeous blooming flower. Let's take that to the heart. Lotus Mudra. Purity, goodwill, connection to nature, to our hearts, to that harmony between nature and ourselves, our communion with nature, and the joy that that brings us. So feel free to envision one of your favorite features of nature as you connect with that. Inhale and exhale. As we exhale, we're going to release that flower on up to the sky and then come right into a proud warrior, looking over the right fingertips, reaching back with the left. Those fingers powerful, pointing ahead and behind, drawing the shoulders down towards the floor, lengthening the neck. Exhale completely. Face forward. Now we're coming into folding warrior, side angle, right elbow to right thigh, and reach the left arm up. Then draw that left shoulder away from the ear. And then come on back up, straighten that right leg. Let's come back to our parallel feet. Bring them in a little bit as we turn the toes out towards our goddess pose. So again, knees tracking between the middle toes, hands on the hips. Inhale, exhale. Let's take that lotus to our heart again. Bring it down as we come into our victory or goddess pose. Victory, goddesses, all of it sounds good. And that wonderful mudra in front of the heart. Let's send that up to the sky. Release through the exhale. And we're going to bring the arms down into T arms, then together, hold that goddess through the core, through the legs, bring the palms together. Now take the hands up, back of the hands together. Inhale, exhale, part the C's. Powerful. Inhale again. Do it again. Into the center, exhale out. And then stand on up. So let's see, we're going to take triangle to the other side. So bring those toes over to the left and keep that same alignment with the back. Arch, grow out of that pelvis, exhale, hinging at the left hip. And bring your left hand to the shin or grab a little if the block is nearby. Articulate your triangle. A triangle's a beautiful shape from the rooting of the base to the point of the triangle up to the sky, our pyramids, all of those sacred shapes. Keeping your shoulders rolling away from the ears, broadening the collarbones, and then come on back up, inhale. And keep that proud warrior as we take this other side. Drop into proud warrior, but look forward, bringing ourselves into this lotus mudra at the heart. Inhale. Connect with that image again. Tree, ocean, lake, all around us. It's everywhere. Exhale, release that to the sky, right into proud warrior. Hold here. Feeling the feet magnetized towards each other. That helps keep the core engaged, the legs engaged, all the muscles that support us and align. Look forward. Let's fold this warrior over the left thigh, right arm next to right ear. Can you feel the length in your right foot all the way up to your fingertips as you roll the right shoulder away from the left ear? Free things up. Keeping that strong base connection through the feet. Let's come on back up to center. Bring it on in Turn the toes out evenly. Hands to hips. Let's come into our cactus arms as we come down through this goddess in the middle. Exhale. Just feel that full pose. This is the actual traditional pose of the goddess. Really feeling the root of the pelvis connecting and lighting up beneath us towards the earth. Soften the face, steady gaze, and then come on back up. As we take triangle to the other side, angle those feet, grab a block if you need that. Inhale skyward, exhale, let's fold over. Keeping the hips forward, so showing that navel out to the front, the left hip stays up. And then we reach the left arm up. Always like to think of my collarbones as that conduit between the fingers, lengthening away from the pelvis on your inhale, exhaling, drawing the core action on the exhale. Sweet. Let's come on up, reaching up towards the sky. So nice. Let's heel toe inward. And just because I think this is a fun balance, let's do it. This is our no fear. We have the front hand with the gesture of no fear, which is forward. So just inviting in that sense of courage up towards in front of you, and below you is the gesture of receiving. So keep these hands as we balance on the left leg and just lift that right knee up. And if you can release the right foot and tuck it in against the left shin, the side of the left shin. Find a balance here. So we're kind of moving forward with that sense of receiving energy and of having no fear as we move forward. This is the Shiva stance and mercy for others with that left hand. Keep this mudra as we take the right foot down and lift the left leg up. And just take the side of your left foot and tuck it to the side of the right. Build that tower strong on the right. Soften through that knee so we're not locking it. Squeeze the glutes. Shiva mudra. This is a whole body mudra. Stable stance. And then we'll come on down. Let's make our way back to the mat as we stand at the bottom of the mat, that expanse in front of us. Inhale the arms up, dive down, bend the knees if you need to, bringing the palms to the floor. Walking out to down dog so we can get a little action with our hamstrings here on the way down. Pedal the feet. Lengthening the back of the legs, so the hamstrings, all of those channels along from the low back all the way to the heel and the feet, the base of the feet. Long sheets of energy there. So let's just roll those out if we can, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale and exhale. Feel free to come to those even heels towards the floor as you push away to lengthen the spine. Inhaling. Three-part breath. Belly, ribs, chest. And chest, ribs, belly. How about you? Every time I do down dog, I feel some serious sensation in my hamstrings. Just witness that, and then bring the knees down to the mat. Come onto your side as you transition towards our bridging action. on the back. So nice. Beautiful. Let's enjoy a bridge here as we take our fingertips to the back of our heels. And if you want to take a block between the thighs, if you like that reminder to come into center and just get that little workout for the inner thighs, feel free to squeeze that block. Take the arms to the floor, just feel that sense of the full arm's length connecting us to our base, and then lift the hips on up to the sky. So whole bridge here for that 3-part breath, which will take a very different feeling and direction here in the diagonal. You want to grab the block, or if you don't have the block, just wave those arms up to the sky and take the arms next to the ears, upward above the crown of the head, tracing that line between the knees all the way up to the crown of the head to the block. And squeeze that block between the hands if you have that. We're just holding this so we get a little bit of action in our strong, larger muscles like the glutes and our deep core. And then lift that block or just the arms up towards the sky. Block at the thighs. Drop the arms beside you, pressing them into the floor. Then curl down to the floor. Feel the release of the back. Remove the block. Just holding that pose engages so many muscles. Inhale and exhale. Check in with the body. Notice the shifting of any tides in the body. What has happened since we began our practice and to now. Acknowledge, honor the benefits and any changes. Through our exhale, we're going to roll onto our left side. Keeping the knees together, we'll take that right hand on top of left and just trace our rainbow above the crown of the head, bending the elbow. If you want to just not do the full rainbow trace with your fingertips, you can always come right back to the left hand. So we can build this gradually. Inhaling as we reach and exhaling, drawing back to the left hand. So we're exploring the rotation of our shoulder, not pushing further, just exploring that pathway as we open up through the ribs, turn the head and the eyes, and gazing up at your tracing line. This is a great repetition twist, so it almost is better as a dynamic one where you keep moving along the lines of the rainbow rather than just staying static. Maybe it gives that fluidity to the spine, the softness. Excellent. Great feeling there. And then we'll roll onto our right side, ease on over. Left hand on top of right and grab that imaginary sidewalk chalk as we draw. And you know the mobility will be different on each side, so just enjoy that, observe it. Follow your breath. Yeah, I love the repetition in this one. I just find something new on each rotation. Repeat as you'd like, or just come on to the back. Take the knees together, feet wide apart, one hand on heart, one hand on the belly. We can take the thumbs together, the fingertips towards the shoulders, and just feel both hands on our heart. That sense of comfort, those bird wings on the heart, sense of freedom and strength. And allow the arms to open, drape beside you, straighten one leg, then the other, or take something under the knees if you want that. Open the feet out to the side, the hips open. Feel free to take a mudra here, whether it's the prawn for the detox with the middle and ring finger, or whether it's the ring finger and the pinky for our earlier, sorry, that is the prawn. Yeah, sorry, my memories. Oh, the apana is the first one with the ring and the middle finger, and that would be the apana detox, or the prawn, which is that peace sign. So take either one of those you'd like, just for a clear mind, or some detox, or just have the hands open to the sky. Bringing in the energy you'd like to invite in, allowing the body to absorb the practice and the movements. We've done a lot of rib and breath work with that lung area, the heart region. As we come to this stillness with the breath, stillness with the body around the breath, then we have a chance to percolate. Release the fingers if you have them in a mudra. Tuning into the sound of your own breath. Relaxing the hands. We've done some hand yoga, so just allow that release through the fingers, the grip. Allow the palms to open, receiving energy. And notice how that reverberates through the body when we release our hands. Release the toes. Soles of the feet. Notice that feeling when you release at the very extremes of our physical body. Coming to that beauty of nature in your mind's eye. Feeling our connection. Drawing that beauty within. And radiating that outward. So that as we heal our inner world, we can heal better to the outer world. Deepen your breath. Bring movement into the hands and the feet. Bend the elbows and the knees. Inhale and exhale onto your right side and help yourself up to a seated position. In our traditional prayer position at the heart, bringing everything together in our hands. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.